Today is June 13th, 2016, back with the daily trade recap. There's a handful of pretty interesting stocks today, especially one big mover into the close. So I'm going to kind of start out with the end of the day and then jump back to the earlier tickers. DRAM kind of had some action this morning, just a little bit kind of trending up. Then a SEC filing came out. They did some sort of strange merger with a gold company. Read your news feed to dig into it, but big rip into the close. You can see ended the day up 60%. At one point, I think it was up almost 70 or 80%. A lot of hype, a lot of chasers behind this. This is going to be a solid watch for tomorrow. Would have been tough to catch this. You know, again, you've got the SEC filings coming in your news feed, and you would have seen it on, you can see it's on the percentage gainers, but such a quick rip, would have been tough to get in. But, a lot of guys are going to be watching this for tomorrow, so good chance this continues. And then the early play of the day was EBIO. We had featured this when the news came out. 7:30, 7:45, some sort of licensing agreement. Big rip. I think we had, we posted it to social media at like roughly 3:20, and it pushed all the way almost till 4. Tough to, you got to be quick on these, of course, but again, low-ish float, not the lowest float stock in the world, but pretty low. And news, and it's a former runner. Again, we discuss former runners a lot in StocksToTrade Pro, but you gotta know when they got a catalyst like news. They're low float. They've ran in the past. If you're quick, you can take this momentum, and then, like happens so often in the penny stock world, you can use those whole dollar amounts and previous support and resistance levels to look to short. And you can see that this thing shot basically, not quite to $4, but pretty much at 4, and then all day fade, closed dang near on the lows of the day. So if you're quick, you can play them long, and sometimes not that it's easy, but sometimes the easier route is just to wait for the backside, set risk at a new high of the day potentially, and ride them short all the way down. EMES was a short from last week and just continuing to really get crushed today. Let me zoom in a little bit here, get a 2-day chart. Friday, big rip, and then fade all day. Weak kind of push into the close, and then you can see today just gap down and crunched, and was down. What did it open at? 10 and close, and it touched 860s at one point. So very solid short sell, especially if you got into that fading momentum on Friday. And then it kind of ground out a little bit at the end of the day. But if you go back to, let's jump to a daily chart, and there's all kinds of room for this to pull back. It wasn't that long ago. This was a $4 stock, and it's starting to fade, and good potential for a continuation of a short sell on that. GBIM was, let me get to a 2-day. I don't see any news on this. Doesn't mean there isn't any, but big kind of big ripper into the middle of the day, and then a late day fade. A lot of chatter on Twitter on this one. Maybe a potential watch for tomorrow. HMNY. I did not dig too deep into the news on this, but there was a lot of chatter about this being related to security and potentially a play off of the tragedy in Orlando. But just very choppy all day long. Huge spread, just kind of jumped around all over the place. Would be a good one to do your research on tonight to see if it does indeed have any sort of potential relation to the tragedy in Orlando and mass shootings, etc. Personally, I did not dig that deep into it. I didn't really see where it was related to that. And then SPHS was another pretty solid short sell on the spike out of the morning. This is, and then it kind of ground sideways. But if we go to a daily chart, you can see it's really starting to, had that big rip on Friday, then close near the lows, kind of a weak spike, and then you've got fading volume. Good chance that if this cracks 2 tomorrow, could probably get pretty ugly. So, not in comparison to recent days, it was a little bit of a slower day. Last couple weeks have been extremely hot in the low price stocks, but we did have several solid longs and shorts. So we'll see you tomorrow.